was you. Oh, I knew that you were the one. Yeah, you were the one for me, the only one that could ever make me feel this way.
Okay, welcome back to One and Done with the new Plazas and Promenades DLC that just came out. I was looking around the city and I thought, you know, these vanilla commercial buildings look absolutely terrible. And one of the nice things about the new buildings that came with Plazas and Promenades is you can apply these to any district in your city. It doesn't have to be in the pedestrian areas. And so I thought that it's time for some redevelopment. Yes, already. We barely got started with this city, but we need some redevelopment because, let's face it, get out of that view. These buildings just look terrible. These vanilla buildings. It's kind of neat to see them all lined up, you know, all of the one by ones and look down the street. But when you get right down to it, yeah, that's pretty awful. So what I am going to do is I want to replace all of these commercial buildings with the new plazas and promenades. And the little one by ones are very cool. And one of the really neat things that I love is that they include little corner buildings. So there's actually a building that's designed for the corner that has the doors and so forth that face the corner. They don't face the street. They don't face either side. I mean, really, when you zone these, you really don't know which way it's going to grow in, whether it's going to face this street here or the side street. So I don't, yeah, here's one here that grew in and it faced the side street. And so what I want to do is get this looking a little better. These two face the side street also, but these did not. So I want to get this looking a little better. And really, when you look across the street to this side, it's very colorful. It looks very nice. There's a lot going on, even with these other buildings. And I had worked in the Green Cities high schools, the community school, and the Institute of Creative Arts. And so they give a little different look, a little different vibe, and then you look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started here, and I think I may just check out my districts. I think what I'm going to do is pause the game, and I am going to put the wall-to-wall commercial on there, and now I also have these buildings down the middle. So I have a lot to take care of here. I'm going to delete all of the old ones out of here, and I want to kind of control the level of the buildings that come in here. All of these buildings have leveled up. They're all level 3. So I could replace them with all level 3, but I think I want to vary the height and use the level 1s and level 2 1x1s of the wall-to-walls in here. So the easiest thing might be to just move it here. And bam, they are all gone. I think I'm just going to use Find It. We're going to go in here. We're going to choose these commercial wall-to-walls. And you can see there's level 1. They're all labeled high density. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, how it's zoned, whether it's low density or high density. They grow in either way. Okay, here are all my 1x1s. I don't think it matters if it's only one wide. Yeah, if it's only one wide, there's nothing bigger than one deep. All right, so here we can see there's a corner building. Corner level 1, corner level 2, corner level 3. And here's more in a different style building. So we have like 3 different style buildings. So, or is it just 2? No, it's 2 different styles. So we have the regular and we have the corner. So what I'm going to do is I want to start with the corner building. make sure this is looking right to me. And it is, because there's on both sides. So we will put that there. So that was a level 1 corner. And now let me get level 1 buildings on either side here. And I think this is just going to be all level 1 buildings. I'm going to have to mark all of these as historical. All right, so I've got these all marked as historical now all the way down the block. I ended up changing the zoning, so these will stay vanilla for now, but I was excited to see how this grew in. So let me unpause the game and we will watch the magic happen. And look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Makes such a difference. Now, if I wanted to try to get all of these with the same color on them, we could just go into move it and we could select these buildings. Actually, they're going to do it at a different rate, but if we just reset them, we can cycle through all of the different looks of these buildings. And eventually I'll find that blue. There we go. Do we want to make this all the same? Now let's make this part a little different. So what other options do we have? That yellow. You know what? I like that. That yellow pops off of that dark building. Interesting shapes, different pattern going on there. So let's bring a few of these yellow ones into the middle on that block. So that yellow looks good through the middle. I think on the end, we'll just go back to that blue. There we go. That's just, oh, these buildings are beautiful. I don't know how excited you guys are, but I am excited to inject some color into the game because that's how I like to build and how I like to do things. And so here, I guess I didn't count that out quite right. What I want to do is not have that building, but let me select, oops, move it back on. Let me select that. I'm just going to copy that building and we'll plop that there. Didn't have to grow or anything. Hopefully that works out okay. And it's marked as historical. Look at this. It's game changing in the appearance of the game. You know, you can finally have that high density city center feel about it. And I made some new parks too. So all of my custom park assets are on the workshop. I put them all up there and I actually made a few new ones. I'm just going to delete him out of there at the moment because I made, let me get that white screen off because that's awful. All right. I made some new ones. Here's a little one here. I made this little bicycle plaza, and Joy Builds Cities has her pedestrian focused city, Mortalago, that she's been building on her channel. And she reached out to me and asked if I could make her some little plazas that included lots of bicycle parking. That's very important to her and her city. So I made these little plazas. One is a 4x4, one's a 2x4, and then the 1x4. And I made the larger ones with her in mind. And I said, you know, I need one of these in a smaller version for One and Done. And I'm sure Joy will work some of these in there too. So I have these. Let's see if I can squeeze that right in between there. And I can. Looks like it needs to slide over just a little bit. I like these. I love the little pergolas and the other things. And I use the zoo bench assets here, the zoo tables, and they just fit in so well. And then these bicycle props were by Ronix69 on the workshop. When you subscribe to it, you actually get a bike as a vehicle and a bike prop. So you would see people bicycling around on those types of bikes as well as the vanilla bikes. So along with that park, I made a little food truck park as well. So let me find that. That is right here. And let me see if I can work food truck park in here somewhere. Did I drop another one of those in somewhere? No, I just have a lot of pedestrian paths. All right, so I think I am going to take out this pedestrian path, sorry. And I'm gonna put in the little food truck plaza here. So we have a couple of food trucks at the front, and we have plenty of seating. These lights, I love these lights. They look really great, and I incorporated these into all of my parks so far that I've made with the new assets. So actually, I think I could have this here, and then I could have a little path as well. So I'm going to squeeze in a path to go along with this. Let me bring it back to daylight. Just run this right alongside so we still have that pedestrian connection. I don't think they would walk through the back of the park, but this is a little mix here of some vanilla table assets. These fences are from the new mid-century modern, and then the benches and pergolas, of course, are from Plazas and Promenades, and the planters and the food trucks. So yeah, and this is it. This looks phenomenal. So I am excited to get going, to get started building with all of this. I said last time that the next episode we would be introducing some mass transit. And one thing I didn't explain was this gravel road that comes through here. This is actually where I want the railroad to be laid out. And so the new train station that comes with the pack is also absolutely beautiful. I think I'm gonna be able to put this right here. It's elevated, but when we look at the elevation lines up here, it's elevated, and I slope this down gently to come in here, and I sank that road. But what I think I'm going to do is keep that elevated because when you look here, this terrain height, we're at 152. Down here, whoops. Down here we drop to 140, so I could keep that higher all the way through, and it would actually be level and make a little bit more sense. While we're here, we're going to take care of a couple of naming things. It was Shane in the UK. Who suggested that we do a train station, really a little transit hub here. He had suggested buses as well, and what I really want to do is also work in the trams. Sorry, I can't type and think about something different that I want to say at the same time. So this is going to be our Shane in the UK Transit Hub. Shane has been a long-time subscriber, even back to my stupid videos at the beginning. Thank you, Shane, and he's regularly commented and whatnot. And so, yeah, this will be the perfect place to put the transit hub. We'll have the train station coming in here. We'll work in trams that will connect the passengers who get off the train to the other parts of our city that we have so far, and we'll also incorporate some bus routes there. I had plopped down a university over here, and so actually right now what I think I'm going to do is let's get rid of that vanilla university and let's jump right into our high capacity university. What I want to do is transform a lot of this into the pedestrian area on both sides of the railroad tracks, but we need the university to keep the city functioning right now. That way they're not crying for not enough educated workers. I'd put that down just to be functional at the moment, or for the moment. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to get the university in here. Actually, let me break this grid. Let me get started on that. One thing we haven't brought in yet are any offices. All right, so here is our university. A couple of the new plazas I dropped in next to that. Looking pretty good. Probably use a little line of trees in there. But that's it. So now we see what is to come for One and Done, and I just love it. I love these buildings. They are absolutely incredible. I can't wait to get started with the residential as well, and incorporating a pedestrian plaza. This street here is going to become a tram road, so we'll have our trams running up and down there also. So stick around. Hopefully it won't be too long before the next episode. Thanks for joining in. Of course, as always, if you want, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.